안녕하세요. Riding on the Korean wave. Welcome to Friday's edition of The Culture Wave. I'm Kwon So-ah in Seoul. Explore with us Korea's culture from all aspects and stay up to date with K-entertainment, K-trends, K-sports, K-everything. Now for today's show, we're going to do all of that together with our co-host Walter Lee. Walter, happy Friday.
Happy Friday, Soa. Hello, everyone. It's good to be here once again as your co-host, and make sure you stick around for my K-Enter News.
And we have our news features reporter, Park Kon-woo, with us, joining us in the studio. Hello, Kon-woo.
Hello,
Hi,
Kon-woo.
Soa, and hi, Walter, as well. And it's so great to be here.
So, Kon-woo, I heard you visited a fall flower festival. So where did you head out to?
That is correct. So I went to Hwasun-gun County, located in the southwest part of South Korea.
I heard this particular festival brought many visitors to the region, and especially because it's taking place at a UNESCO World Heritage Site. So, Kon-woo, what exactly is happening there?
So beginning last week, the second Fall Flower Festival is being held in Hwasun-gun County. And after the first event of its kind was there last year. And there's actually a spring version as well, meaning that there's two flower festivals being held in the same area each year. And especially as there's so many beautiful fall flowers and artwork made with them, and also the fun activities there, it was really fun to experience all of those activities there as well at the site. So before I tell you more, why don't we take a closer look? UNESCO's World Heritage Dolmen site in Hwasun-gun County in southwest South Korea gets more special in the autumn. That's because the 2.3 million square meter area, similar in size to over 3,000 football fields, gets partially filled with many different kinds of flowers as part of the Hwasun Dolmen Fall Flower Festival. As you can see, this festival has a variety of vibrant colored fall flowers blossoming in this spacious area, allowing people to take nice selfies here. Beautiful flowers from golden sunflowers to delicate cosmos and chrysanthemums are just some of the flowers you can enjoy. A total of 10 different flowers that bloom in autumn are on display at the site, with special artwork also intriguing visitors.
I really like how they make different kinds of animals with flowers. So I took a lot of pictures. I'll come here every year as long as I'm alive.
It's really cute, so coming here so relaxed. I was first time watching, it's really good.
It's great to spend time with my family in this wonderful weather with a gentle breeze.
The festival also captures the interest of visitors with its signature snacks for sale at an outdoor cafe in front of a large sunflower field. One of the most popular desserts was the all-black ice cream, created to commemorate the region's coal mine which closed last year. It has a sweet taste, but is also salty to express the saltiness of a miner's sweat. And due to the recent reading craze following South Korean writer Han Kang's Nobel Prize win, a zone was also created near the dolmens for people to read and relax.
The festival was planned to promote the cultural heritage of Hwasun, and we are aiming to develop various dolmen-related programs to make this a bigger festival.
With a target of bringing in around 200,000 people to the event just this year, the Fall Flower Festival runs until November 3rd.
Kon-woo, you're definitely making best use of the great weather. Last time on Jeju Island, I believe.
Yes.
Now in Hwasun.
It looks so beautiful, actually.
Yes, really. And I think it's even more significant that this festival is being held at a World Heritage Site. So could you tell us a little bit more on the background?
Absolutely. So Hwasun-gun County's dolmen site is one of the three major sites in South Korea, along with Gochang-gun and Gangwon-gun counties. The dolmen site has been designated as a UNESCO World Heritage Site since the year 2000. And at this site, there's around 600 big and large dolmens, as you saw in my coverage as well. And one interesting fact is that the biggest dolmen in Korea, called Pygmy Rock, is actually located in Hwasun. And it weighs around 280 tons, so it's actually very heavy and big and wide and everything. Yeah.
Wow, that's actually quite interesting. But what might be some other fun activities that people can enjoy? Do you have any tips for our viewers at home?
Of course I do. So first of all, many singers and performers, including the famous magician, Charming Choi, were invited to this event this year so that people can enjoy and stay longer at the event, even until late in the evening. The entrance fee is around 5,000 won. Oh, actually is 5,000 won, which is just under $4 US. And as soon as you receive your tickets, you can also get a gift certificate worth 5,000 won. And that gift certificate can be used inside the festival, of course, but also in other stores located within the region. So many restaurants, cafes, and even gas stations as well. And I would strongly recommend using the 5,000 won, buying the black color ice cream that you saw in my coverage as well.
Oh, I'd love to try that. But honestly, I was a little taken aback when we heard of the explanation of the saltiness of the ice cream. But of course, that's just a symbolic meaning behind. But last but not least, Konwoo, are there any other places in Korea that we can enjoy, where we can enjoy the fall flowers this time around?
Yeah, so there are plenty of places you can enjoy these flowers. For example, Hwasun-gun County, which is also near Hwasun, is one of the most has one of the most biggest chrysanthemum festivals in Korea during the same period. And along with that, other places including Changwon City, also in the southern part, and Yeoncheon-gun County, north of Seoul, are having these fall flower festivals as well. So don't miss it.
Well, usually I like to go to flower festivals in springtime. I didn't know they had that many flower festivals in the autumn season. So I'll try to go to one of the nearest places to Seoul.
Well, for me, I'm allergic to flowers, so I can't really go. So that's terrible for me to go.
In that case, you can watch the Konwoo's report again.
Yes, I'll watch it back.
All right, thank you, Konwoo, for that. We'll see you again next week.
All right, see you next week.
It's time for K-Enter News with Walter. And starting off with some K-pop news regarding New Jeans, right?
That's correct. So New Jeans, the K-pop group, everybody knows about them. They're huge, they're massive, they're probably the biggest names in K-pop at the moment. Now, they have a song called Ditto, and it was made the 2020's best song list for an American magazine called Paste. 2020's best song list.
Wow.
Imagine how many songs there are. So the magazine Paste announced that the 100 best songs of 2020s so far, because we're still in the 2020s, ranking the fourth generation K-pop girl group song Ditto at 23rd on their list. And not only that, this is actually quite special. I'm surprised though that they're the only K-pop band on that list of 100. And when asked about it, the magazine did say, when thinking about the current state of K-pop in the 2020s, no group has risen more than New Jeans, and their song Ditto stands out as one of their best tracks, which I have to agree. Now, additionally, Paste also ranked New Jeans' second EP, called Get Up, 52nd on its list of the 100 greatest EPs of all time.
Wow, that is really impressive.
Yes.
And I really have to say that Ditto was one of the songs that I felt was a new approach to K-pop.
Yeah.
And it's really upbeat, but yet very soft.
Yes, it is.
So it was one of my favorite songs as well. But let's continue with the topic of K-pop. We have some good news for fans of not only a particular group, but a company, SM Entertainment.
That's correct. They are called Pink Bloods. I didn't know this, but the name of the SM Entertainment's fan group are called Pink Bloods.
Interesting.
Now, that's because they're excited that SM Town Live 2025 concert will take place from the 11th to the 12th at the Goljok Skydome in Seoul. Now, this is going to be the first domestic concert in about just over 2.5 years since SM Town Live 2022 in Suwon. Now, the lineup has yet to be announced, but most people would know that SM Entertainment artists include like Girls' Generation and Shiny. I'm that generation, so sorry, but they're new generation NCT as well. Now, this concert isn't just any concert as well. It's actually held to celebrate SM's 30-year anniversary, which is in February 2025. Now, the concert will start off in Seoul, move into North America, also go to Europe and other locations across the world. Now, the concert is expected to showcase the extraordinary stage that brings together SM Entertainment's 30-year history.
Wow, 30-year history. You know, that would mean that SM Entertainment actually has K-pop acts that debuted almost 30 years ago.
Seems so so long
I think
ago.
that's groups like HOT and SES.
SES, one of my favorites.
So
to be
those
honest
are
with
the
you.
first K-pop generation
Yeah.
groups. Yeah, anything else about this news?
Yes, if you were hoping to get some tickets yourself, especially for the Seoul one, they are on sale starting in November. And if you want more information about that, go to SM Town's official social media pages.
Okay, great information. Now, moving on to Koreans in Hollywood.
Yes, that's right. So now we here at the Culture Wave, we don't just celebrate Koreans living in Korea. We celebrate Koreans living outside of Korea
Of
as
course.
well. And one of the biggest Korean American actors is Ken Jeong. Now, his legacy has become even bigger now since recently on October 23rd local time, his name was added to the Hollywood Walk of Fame. Now, a ceremony was held in Hollywood and Vine in Los Angeles, California, making him the 2,794th person to be honored with the Walk of Fame. So he received a star in the TV category. Most people would know Ken Jeong from the very popular movie series The Hangover, also the TV series Community. He also has a stand-up special as well on Netflix. He's very interesting character. He's also a qualified doctor. He was actually studying acting while he was studying at Duke University School in Medicine when he graduated all the way back in 1990 when you and I were very, very young, Zola. So yes, congratulations to Jeong.
Yes, congratulations to Jeong. And thank you, Walter, for the K Intro News. Stick around.
Stick around.
Okay, and now it's time to go over to Ari for other culture-related news.
Hello and welcome to the Culture Wave AI News. I am Mari, your AI guide to Korea's latest cultural news and information. Here's our first story of the day. The 26th Bucheon International Animation Festival kicked off today, launching a 5-day celebration dedicated to the art of animation. This year's festival will feature more than 120 films from 34 countries, selected from a highly competitive pool. Tonight's opening ceremony will host renowned animators and comic artists including Raul Garcia, known for his work on Beauty and the Beast and Aladdin, as well as Korean cartoonist and Professor Lee Won-bok, famous for Far Country Neighboring Country. The festival will officially open with the Korean premiere of director Kim Yong-wan's animation film Your Letter. The 2024 Asia Song Festival is set to light up Yeouido Hanggang Park this weekend, supported by the Ministry of Culture and the Korean Foundation for International Cultural Exchange. The festival has become a key event for fostering friendship among Asian countries since its debut in 2004. The main event set for Saturday evening will feature 10 teams from 7 countries, including Korea, Japan, and Vietnam. Among the artists will include Korean girl group Fromies 9, Japan's Tomioka Ai, Do Nella of the Philippines, and Ja Lil, a special guest from Jamaica. How about indulging in the royal cuisine once enjoyed by Korea's kings? This Saturday and Sunday, the Institute of Traditional Korean Food will host a food festival at Unyeonggung Palace in Jongno District, featuring vibrant royal court meals. Under the theme Yaksikdongwon, meaning food is the best medicine. The event will showcase foods tailored to different body types and health-boosting ingredient pairings, along with a variety of interactive programs. Now in its 17th year, the festival has played a key role in promoting traditional Korean food culture. That's all I have for you today. Be sure to check out various events in store this weekend, and I'll see you next week.
The Tigers against the Lions against the Tigers. It's expected to be a busy weekend of baseball in the southeastern city of Daegu, with games 3 and 4 of the 42nd edition of the Korean series to take place between the Kia Tigers and Samsung Lions. Now, for the latest in K-Sports, sportscaster Jason Lee is joining us in the studio today. Jason, it's great to have you here on the program.
Hello, Jason.
Thank you. Great to be here.
All right, so Jason, the Korean series is underway, and as far as I understand, you were at games 1 and 2, not just as a spectator, but you actually were calling the games in English.
That's right. Yeah, I was down in Gwangju for games 1 and 2, and certainly a great atmosphere there. It was absolutely electric, and I know this program likes to follow Korean celebrities, and there were some significant Korean celebrity sightings there. In particular, Gyu Hyun of Super Junior was there to sing the national anthem for Game 1 of the Korean series. And also J-Hope was there of BTS, of course. He was there to throw out the ceremonial opening pitch in Game 2 of the Korean series as well. For the games themselves, Game 1 was won by Kia by a score of 5-1, and Kia won Game 2 8-3 as well. So Kia with a commanding 2-0 series lead. James Nail as well as Won Tae-in both pitched outstanding in Game 1. And another note I would say is Kim Do-young, the third baseman of the Kia Tigers, hit a home run in Game 2 for Kia. Of course, he had 38 home runs and 40 stolen bases in the regular season. So he was a really big storyline throughout the season. If he would make 40 and 40, he got shut down at 38. But he did hit one more home run in the postseason. So maybe if he hits another postseason home run, he'll have a 40-40 season one way or another.
I'm glad you mentioned J-Hope. I was actually surprised you're wearing purple because it reminded me of BTS.
There you go.
Now, actually, we've had some crazy weather over the last, I guess, month, I think, here in Korea. And it rained on Monday and Tuesday in Gwangju. And the series took a bit of a turn because of the weather. Like, how so?
Yeah, it was very significant, actually. So first off, the start of the game was delayed because of the rain. So the official start was around 6:30. From about 5 o'clock, there was already a light rain. And the actual game on Monday night didn't start till about 7:30. So it was significantly delayed. Gyu-yeon had to sing out there in the rain a little bit, so he got wet while singing the national anthem. But I think even more significantly than the game being delayed because of the rain, I mean, they brought the tarp out like 3 times before they even started the opening ceremonies for the game itself. But significantly, in the game itself, as I mentioned, James Nail and Won Tae-in, the 2 starting pitchers of the game, they were outstanding for the first 5 innings, despite there being a light drizzle for the entire time. The rains got a little bit stronger, and then in the 6th inning, Kim Hong-gun hit a solo home run off of James Nail. So Samsung actually took a 1-0 lead in the top of the 6th inning. They walked 2 batters. They were a 1-0 count to the next batter, and then that's when the umpire stopped the game. So Samsung had a ton of momentum going, but just a 1-0 lead. It could have very easily been a 2-0 lead, a 3-0 lead, but because the game was stopped, it was pushed to the next day, but then Tuesday it rained as well. Yeah, so it was just a rain fest. And then Wednesday, they finally resumed that game before the start of Game 2. And when they resumed it, the momentum was all gone, a failed bunt attempt, and then before you knew it, Kia just took over momentum. They pounded on the Samsung bullpen and went on to, as I mentioned, the 5-1 victory in that game. And then they followed it up right after that because momentum was already there because they had a come from behind victory that day. Everyone's feeling good about it. Going into Game 2, they just trampled Samsung once again 8-3.
And it was actually the first time that we had this back-to-back in the Korean series, right?
That's right, the suspension of it leading into the next game.
Yes, yeah. I can imagine that it's also physically very exhausting for the players. I mean, having to play 2 games.
Absolutely. Yeah, I mean, basically a doubleheader, which typically you do see doubleheaders in Major League Baseball quite frequently, but when it comes to Korean baseball, it's very rare that they play a doubleheader. So this was kind of like a 1.5 header, I guess you could say. But at the same time, it's certainly not something that the players were used to. And Samsung manager Park Jin-man was actually quite upset that they ended up playing the first half of the first game. He felt that the game should have been canceled before it started at all. So he's clearly not very happy. Certainly being down 2-0 as well.
Well, then let's talk a little bit more about the Samsung Lions. They have their star player Koo Ja-uk, but he hasn't played in the Korean series yet. So can we expect him to play in the 3rd game or the 4th game?
It's a good question. So Koo Ja-uk, of course, like you mentioned, he is their star player. I would say the most significant player on that team. And he got injured in Game 2 of the previous series against LG. Now, Samsung went on to win the game that he got injured in, and they won another game in order to advance to the Korean series. So they have won without him, but I mean, the Kia Tigers are just a different team than the LG Twins are. So they clearly do need him. There was talk that he might have been able to play in games 1 and 2 as a pinch hitter, but he never actually did appear in either of those games. So is he healthier enough to play tonight and tomorrow? That remains to be seen. It's a knee injury that he suffered while sliding into second base, and those can be a little fickle. So if he does play, I would imagine that he will not start because of having to run in the outfield and perhaps even on the base path. So I think if he does play, in all likeliness, it would just be as a pinch hitter. And then if he gets a hit, then have somebody run for him after that.
I think I saw an interview where he kind of expressed his confidence that even with his knee injury, if he has to play, he's going to play regardless of the pain.
Yeah.
Well, we'll have to see what happens. And Walter, you also had another
Yeah,
question.
I do. So, as you mentioned, Kia is leading the series 2-0. Now, I've heard that historically they are 11 for 11 in the championship series. How likely is it for them to make it a 12 out of 12? And do you think we'll see a 4-game sweep?
Both very good questions. Yeah, as you mentioned, 11 for 11 when it comes to the championship series. Let me just say, that is absolutely ridiculous. You do not see that in any sport at all. So the fact that they've been to the championship 11 times, and every single time they have come out the champions, and now they're leading 2-0. They only have to win 2 more games. So certainly the prospects are very good. When a team wins the first game of the Korean series, they usually go on to win the championship about 75% of the time. And now that they have a 2-0 lead, it's well over 80% in terms of the numbers. But having said that, you're talking about a team that has 3 very good starting pitchers in James Neal, Yang Yeon-jung, and they've got Eric Lauer that's going to be starting tonight. And on top of that, they probably have the deepest hitting lineup on top of that. So the only weakness I would say that Kia does have is their defense. Somehow they're in first place and they led the league in errors. So you never see that as well, which is pretty crazy. So I would say the only way that Kia does not win the series is if they shoot themselves in their own foot by causing a lot of errors. They had 3 errors in Game 1 and 2 errors in Game 2. So if they, make some defensive miscues and it becomes a mental issue because of that, I could see how it's possible. But at the same time, this team is on a roll. Eric Lauer is a very good pitcher, as is Denny Reyes, who is pitching for Samsung tonight. But I think it's going to be a much closer game tonight. And I think in those later innings, we'll see. Maybe if Koo Ja-uk makes an appearance of some sort and plays a hero role, then maybe that's possible as well. But Samsung definitely have a uphill climb.
It's going to be exciting.
Yeah, absolutely.
And now, Jason, we have a little bit more time to talk about other big stories in sports. Let's talk about Tottenham Hotspur's Son Heung-min, of course. He also had an injury recently, but came back and then had a very successful game. But again, he didn't appear for the most recent game. So what are the updates on him?
That's right. So, of course, Son Heung-min did not play in Korea's last 2 international games because of an injury. He did return, as you mentioned, this past weekend against West Ham, scored a goal, was named man of the match. A great game. He played 70 minutes in that one. But then after that game, he was a little bit sore, did not practice on Wednesday, and he's going to be left out of the lineup when they take on AZ this weekend. So there's hope that he might be able to play on the weekend game in the EPL when they face Crystal Palace. So hopefully, if he's able to return for that game, then things will look up. And they're confident that he'll be able to, but we'll still have to wait and see.
We'll have to wait and see. All right, thank you, Jason. That's all the time we have. Have a great weekend. Probably you're going to be busy watching and commentating on the games on the weekend.
Absolutely.
So hope to talk to you again about the world of sports.
Look forward to it.
Thank you, Jason.
And thank you, Walter. Have a great weekend. I'll see you next week.
See you next week.
Thank you for spending the past half an hour with us on the Culture Wave. I wish you a fantastic weekend, maybe at a fall festival or at the ballpark. Please join us again next week, Monday to Friday at 2 p.m. Korea time, and hopefully one day here in Korea. Thanks for watching.